Oh, hey. Welcome back to another episode of UNLEARN. Today we're going to go through some aspects about chiropractic and its influence on the immune system. In 1999, the New York Times writer Gina Kolata published her book simply titled Flu, which was documenting about how the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic that had swept the world took out about 100 million people over the course of 6 months. To give you an idea about this was more than all the recorded deaths of all the wars that had happened in the world combined to that time. To give some perspective, in 1918, the chiropractic profession is a mere 20 years old, and it's mostly used for other aspects rather than just musculoskeletal pains and aches. Believe it or not, people were actually going to chiropractors more for infectious diseases and chronic disease management rather than just aches and pains. The reason this is important to mention is because this is the pre-antibiotic, pre-vaccination era of healthcare in the United States. The fact is that the flu doesn't respond to antibiotics anyways. So in 1918, chiropractors could treat people who actually had an infection like the flu. In today's world, the chiropractic profession is known more to treat neck, back, and headaches. The reality was that people's immune systems worked better when they were adjusted compared to when they weren't adjusted, seen above with these statistics that were in the state of Iowa during the 1918 flu pandemic. Overall, during this time period, chiropractic or manipulative management actually had 1/40th of the death rate as compared to those who chose the medical or allopathic route of healthcare. And the fact was that chiropractors continued to treat people with infectious diseases all throughout the first half of the 20th century. Believe it or not, chiropractic actually had a very big emphasis on treating people who had polio. Disclaimer, I've never treated anybody with polio. But we have to understand that the first half of our existence as a profession, we were doing something to influence the efficiency of the immune system. In this journal article from the January 1997 issue from the journal Spine, basically, if you mechanically affect a single spinal ligament, like a specific adjustment, it sends information into the spinal cord that goes up and influences your brain. And it's affected by a sympathetic nerve, which influences the immune system. So as you can see right here in this cross section, right at the T2 level, where this is just below where the sympathetic chain starts, it goes from the level of the first thoracic vertebrae all the way down to the second lumbar vertebrae. So a specific adjustment could actually influence how that nerve responds, correlating information up to the brain to influence how the immune system projects itself. And since we know that this helps restore autonomic balance, we can see right here, thoracic spinal manipulation may have an effect on the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, and therefore pain and healing via modulation of the endocrine and physiological processes. According to the proposed theory, there will be measurable changes in the neuroendocrinal mechanisms following a thoracic spinal manipulation. Basically just that mid-back adjustment that you see people go face down and get a good popping sound from. So as you can see right above right here, addressing the sympathetic nervous system through adjustments is what actually helps activate these particular aspects of what influence the nervous systems in how it influences the immune function. The takeaway from this is the same takeaway I'd give any other condition with chiropractic helping out. Better structure equals better function. And the reality is that there are so many things that we can actually do to actually help influence how the immune system can actually function in this case. The reality also is that the immune system is not just one singular system. It's a combination of different systems of the body collaborating together to help fight any kind of infectious processes that are going on in our body. And the reality is that we talked about one factor, just manipulative management. We didn't even talk about dietary regulation, hydration, exercise, sleep, or even emotional regulation. All these factors can have an influence on how we project our energy and that we don't succumb to immune system dysfunction. I also want to give a big shout out to Dr. Dan Murphy, who was kind enough to actually put this information that is for free online. So you can go search him on just a simple Google search for all this information. Once again, thank you for stopping in to watch another episode of UNLEARN. I hope you learned something.